a blind piano player, wrestler, long distance runner, and a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions across the U.S., are here to tell their story of their unique and incredible journey together. Welcome to the Nancy and Mike Show. Nancy and Mike will engage you with some of the most unimaginable and heartwarming stories of their extraordinary life. So please welcome your hosts, Nancy and Mike.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorich.
And this is Nancy Noble.
We are coming to you live, broadcasting from YouTube in Florida. This is the Nancy and Mike Show, God inspired. Now, we missed last week, and I'm sorry we did. It was a last minute thing.
Yep.
But anyway, what I'm going to do, because I missed last week, I got so many topics on the table. I'm going to do last week's show today.
Hey, cool.
And who knows, maybe in the coming weeks I'll never catch up. But anyway, this is God inspired.
Yep.
Today's date is August the 29th, and this is show number 56.
Good.
Now, one of the things that's been in the news a lot is primaries. I'm going to talk about my history of primaries. One of the deals is I used to listen to them. And
primaries, is that the same as midterm election? What is it?
It's the midterm to see who runs in the midterm.
Oh, it comes before. Oh, yeah, primary. Okay.
The primary is to see who will be in the finals of the midterm.
Okay.
And there's a Republican and a Nazi.
Yeah, sometimes they'll have two Republicans fighting each other to see who goes to the midterm, right?
Yeah, like in the governor thing, we had a bunch of Republicans. We had about 8 of them. That's too many.
Yeah.
And if they split it and nobody gets 50%, then you got to have another primary.
Oh,
so anyway.
Thanks for explaining.
But what the deal is this, and this is definitely God inspired. First of all, Nancy's topic today, I got about 5 topics today, and one of the topic that Nancy has is matches one of my topics.
That's unusual, but great.
That's unusual, and I didn't know it was going to happen. I really wish that I had done last week, because there was something in this show that would have been more appropriate even last week.
There's just hope.
So anyway, one of the things on the primaries, why I don't listen to them anymore. I used to, but why I don't? Because one thing I learned through the years, that the voting public, and this is done deliberately, is been dumbed down.
From the media?
It's done by the social media, and it's done by the Nazis.
And the regular media.
They are working together.
The network stuff like that.
To dumb down the nation. And because of that, primaries become less appealing. Now, one other thing about this subject before I change. I can't spend too much time on any one subject today. If you get people told me that when I talked about Nazis, that I could confuse people.
Yes.
And
because the other side use it too often.
The other side uses it, but it's not true.
I know.
Right? Now, I'll tell you why I didn't change my way of using it. I didn't change it because when Hitler ran for president in 2021,
That's Biden, I guess.
yeah, when he played and the Nazi party played every step by step, every move they made was the same move made by Hitler Germany. Now, I don't remember any of that. I wasn't here
Right.
because I would have had to been born probably before 1940,
Mhm.
and I was born in 47. So I wouldn't be here to remember that, but I recognize the truth of it. How I found out about it was from the Education Channel.
Yep. They had a special
So
about
they had a special about that, how Joe Hitler used the playbook of Adolf Hitler step by step.
hmm
So that's why I started calling the Nazi Party the Nazi Party. But, and you know, when I pray and I ask God about it, what can I do so that people
get mixed up.
don't get mixed up? There's no way people are going to get mixed up. I did get an answer to that prayer on August 21st. And here's what the answer was. I was listening to a speech, and in the speech, what was used was the term Nazi Democrat. Now, if you use that term,
Then there's no confusion.
there's no confusion. Then everybody knows, well, a Democrat is not a Republican.
No.
So I was very thankful to get that cleared up so I could still be on the right track and people would know what I was talking about.
Better understood.
Better understood. So that was good news. And now I'm going to change the subject.
Okay, good.
Uh, the next subject. I've had some uh, sad subjects. I'm going to save what happened last Sunday to later in the show because it's the best thing that happened
And
this
very happy.
last week and very happy. And what it relates to. What was I thinking of? Now, I couldn't have said what I was thinking of last week because I didn't know it's coming up the next day.
Yeah.
But I could tell you now what I was thinking of because it's very appropriate. Somebody that I deeply respect. And but I'm not going there now. Next thing topic. Probably one of my favorite cousins is no longer with us. And why was she my favorite cousin? Um, she was uh, she was a great gymnast, and we both had the inspiration to be in the Olympics.
Yes.
She knew the ropes. I didn't. I wish she had told me the ropes. If she had told me the ropes, I might have tried out for the Olympics sooner.
Right.
But I didn't find out about it. And she tried out for the Olympics. 1963, we went to see her. She lived in California. Now, I'm not going to go in that deeply because I'm getting conflicting reports and I don't know what's true. But I could go into the part that I know is true. And what took place when we got to see my father's brother or Diane's father, she wasn't there. Drove all the way out to California from Connecticut, 1963. I was disappointed she wasn't there. But where was she? She was at a gymnastics camp that was instrumental in the upcoming 1964 Olympics. She was a little younger than me, and we were both teenagers at that time. I was 16 years old, and but gymnasts are, generally speaking, a little younger than wrestlers are.
Yes.
And I had this stupid thing, and it was stupid, that we could both make the Olympics, and she would be my roommate. Well, that is a real stupid thought. That was
What? You were young. You didn't.
that was wishful thinking at the highest
It would have been
degree.
fun.
It would have been fun. But if you're staying at the Olympic Village, the wrestlers stay together with the wrestlers, and the gymnasts stay together with the gymnasts. We could not have been roommates.
Nope.
That's the first thing. Anyway, time progresses, and my uncle is telling me about this girl. Oh, this girl, she's amazing. Her name is Kathy Rigby. At that time, the name Kathy Rigby was just a name to me. It didn't have any meaning. I didn't know who she was or what she was, but I knew after my uncle, she was a good gymnast.
Right.
That much I knew.
Yep.
In the meantime, time progresses and Diane goes camping. She gets hurt in a motorcycle accident. And at that point, she could not try out for the Olympics.
Oh, how heartbreaking.
I was devastated.
I'm sure she was too.
I think I was the only one that really got devastated. I heard the news at my grandmother's house
In Connecticut.
in Connecticut. Yes. So that was the deal with that. She's no longer with us. And she inspired me to fight for the Olympics. Once I found out the formula, I wish I had found out about it earlier.
Hmm.
I wish she had told me.
But she did take you around the college campuses so you could find your way. I remember that.
Yeah, and find my way to class. And we both went to UCLA. And
And when you used to have races in San Diego, we'd stay at their house.
yeah, so I mean, we knew them very well, especially after I got married, and we stayed at their house every time I had a race in San Diego. But anyway,
And
that was the deal with
she
it.
bought one of my paintings, one of the
I
last
know
paintings.
she did,
Yeah.
and she did a lot of good for us and for me. And so anyway, I think what I'm gonna do is have Nancy do her wonderful thing because I want to hold off this concert, and the thing that she's talking about has to do with the first subject I had.
Okay.
So, uh, Nancy's going to go, and then I'm going to talk about music.
Well, when I was reading this, Mike was getting all excited, and I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'll just say this is from Our Daily Bread, and it's written by Monica LaRose. And the we're going to a break soon, so I'll just say the title of this is Plague of Lies, and it's from the scripture comes from Colossians 3 verse 9. Do not lie to each other, since you have taken off your old self with its practices. So we're going to a break now, and I'll finish this when we come back. This is the Nancy and Mike Show. Stay tuned.
Mike Zorich, a three-time California state champion in Greco-Roman wrestling at 114 pounds. Mike, blind since birth, was born in Hartford, Connecticut. He was a 6-time national placer, including 2 seconds, 2 thirds, and 2 fourths. He also won the Veterans Folk Style Wrestling twice at 152 pounds. In all these tournaments, he was the only blind competitor. Nancy Zorick, a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions in several states. Her father, a commercial artist who shared his instruments with his daughter and helped her fine-tune her natural abilities, influenced her decision to follow in his footsteps. Ms. Zorick has enjoyed a fruitful career doing what she loves. Listen Saturday mornings at 12 Eastern for the Nancy and Mike Show for heartwarming stories and interesting talk.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of the Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on the Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorick.
And this is Nancy Noble.
We are coming to you live, broadcasting from YouTube in Florida. This is the Nancy and Mike Show. And when we left to take our break, Nancy was starting her wonderful deal this week. And she always comes up with a wonderful show. And this time is no exception.
Well, this is about honesty. So this was written, like I said, by Monica LaRose. Here it goes. What a cruel act to be untruthful. Daniel Ladinsky once wrote in a poem that contrasts relationships built on trust with those damaged by lies. Inspired by a German theologian and monk, Meister Eckhart, he describes truthful, loving words as wonderful spices mixed with the days. But lies are the earthquakes in the mind and poison in the soul. Havoc is created in the mind that can no longer trust someone once loved. The plague is spread by one who cannot tell the truth. The imagery, a plague spreads by falsehood, might seem stark, but to take speech seriously resonates with how our words and their impact are described throughout Scripture. When Paul explains to new believers the difference between life before and after their union with Jesus, words take center stage. Quote, do not lie to each other, close quote. The apostle emphasizes, since you have taken off your old self with its practices and have put on the new self. That's from Colossians again. So there are many reasons to be tempted to lie or distort the truth. Sometimes we might think it's the best way to protect ourselves or others, but through Christ's love, through the Spirit at work in our hearts, we learn a different way. One transformed by compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. And we learn how forgiveness and love can create the kind of trust and peace that brings rest to our souls. So we should bless others with words that can be trusted. Amen to that.
Amen to that.
And I was just telling Mike I was seeing a movie last night, and this one girl, she's always so clever and smart. She's always finding out who the murderer was. But because of a prejudice and resentment to this one girl she went to high school with, who was always lying, she had a reputation of being a liar. She thought for sure that girl is the murderer, but she got blindsided because the guy that she dated once and had her first kiss with, that guy, he was the murderer. And she didn't see it because she had made a judgment. Sometimes
She didn't want to see it.
she didn't want to see it. She knew this girl was a liar, so she's figuring, how did this girl get out of the room? She climbed this way or that. She's making up all these stories to justify her mistake. And that's what I remember I told on this show once, that two preachers were talking about this other preacher, and how could he? I thought he was smarter, the one preacher said to the other. And the other preacher said about the guy who went the wrong way, he said, sin makes you stupid. And that's it. That's it with the show I watched last night. And you got to watch out, be aware. Watch out for resentment because it colors your thinking. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
Nancy's done with her wonderful topic. And
Thanks to our daily bread.
yes, here's the deal with this. You may not believe me. You may believe me. Either way, it doesn't make any difference to me.
What?
But one of the things is I don't lie.
I know.
Now, I remember
When I was going to secretarial school, I said that to the class, that you don't lie. And one boy said, "Oh, yeah, right. That's a lie. Like there is a lie," he said. I said, "No, he doesn't lie."
and but this is the deal with that. I don't lie. And I would be listening to game shows, verbal game shows.
Yeah.
Now, a verbal game show, Nancy could go out, she could go to the store, she could do whatever,
Yeah.
or she could do something around the house. I could watch a verbal game show and I know what's happening because it's verbal
And you can keep track.
and I can keep track. There are less and less verbal game
I
shows
know
now.
it. Yeah.
And but anyway, I'm setting the record straight and I don't lie.
Right.
And I did say earlier, I would explain why I wish last week's show had taken place last week. It was impossible, but it would have been nice if it had because of where I'm going. Now, I recently got a piano teacher. And
Very nice girl.
very nice. She's not as advanced as I am, but basically, she won't probably do any taping for me, but I don't need that. But what I mainly need is somebody who could read the music. Now, if I had somebody taping for me, I could make faster progress. But this girl is such a nice girl. She has a great personality.
Lot of fun.
Lot of fun. And one thing she's good at syncopation.
And you're not.
And I'm not very good at it. And there was this piece called Brahms Intermezzo, Opus 118, number 6. It has tons of syncopation in it.
Uh-huh.
I've been wanting to learn it for years.
She could.
I'm going to do it with her or try to do it with her, but not now. I got a couple of pieces that I want to do prior to that. And but anyways,
Yep.
I finished None But the Lonely Heart, which is a piece by Tchaikovsky. It's a piece that Nancy liked, and I thought, well, it's not that difficult. It was more difficult for me than I thought it would be because I didn't have anything to copy.
Yes, there is one on YouTube of Tchaikovsky with the whole orchestra, and then there's one of a woman singing it, but none of them are exactly what you're doing.
And there's a piano version of it that's absolutely horrible.
Yeah, kind of jazzed up,
It's
huh?
jazzed up, and
Yeah.
it's not anything that Tchaikovsky would roll over in his grave if he heard it.
Yeah,
So that was not an option for me.
but
But anyway,
it turned out great.
the
I'm very
way
happy with it.
the thing turned out,
Mm,
there's these people who saved my life, Tom and Diane Wilson. And those of you who have been listening to these shows
Yeah,
knows about them.
yeah, great people.
They drove me to the hospital when I had serious bladder cancer, and they drove me at midnight.
I
And
was too upset to
the
drive.
next
Wasn't sure how to get there.
day, if I had waited till the next day, the nurse said I would have died from kidney poisoning.
Yep.
I couldn't go to the bathroom.
Yeah, he was
So
very close.
because I had so many blood clots, it was
Yeah.
blocking me from going to the bathroom. And
But these are the people who helped us.
these people decided, well, okay, let's invite some people over, and you could do a concert. So what I did, I decided, well, None But the Lonely Heart. That's not a concert.
No.
And I didn't want to do a regular concert because a
Ugh.
regular concert
Too
lasts
long.
2.5 hours
Yeah.
plus an intermission.
Yeah, it's too much.
And I didn't want to make people sit that long. So I did what I called a mini concert.
Yeah, great.
So
I think
besides
it's just the right size.
None But the Lonely Heart,
Mhm.
I played 3 other pieces. I played the first movement of Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven,
Hmm.
and I played uh,
For Elise.
For Elise by Beethoven. And when I was on the Donna Drake show, and that's where I'm going next, I played To a Wild Rose. Now, when I was on the Donna Drake show in 2019, December 2019, it was arranged by the radio show for Nancy and I to fly to New York and be on this Donna Drake show. So you could find it if you want to hear it.
Hmm.
It's, I think, Live It Up.
Donna Drake Show, Live It Up, and then click Mike Zorick.
Okay. And so they had me play, it was about a 15-minute show, and they had me play at the end. Now, the secret of To a Wild Rose, it's written by a composer named McDowell. Now, McDowell was not happy with the piece. He threw it in the garbage. And
But his wife found it. And she said, hey, this is really a good piece. Don't give up on it. I think you should have it published.
and I could tell you she was right. As it turned out, To a Wild Rose by McDowell is the piece that put him on the map.
Yep.
If he had thrown that piece away, probably nobody would have known who he was. But his wife saved it, and it turned out to be his most famous piece.
I love it.
And so those were the 4 pieces I played. And one of the guys who was there, very nice guy, and I said before the concert, if you like one of these pieces or whichever, request them again, and I'll redo them after I finish the next piece. We're going to a break.
We'll be right back. This is the Nancy and Mike Show. Stay tuned.
Author, radio show host and coach, John M. Hawkins, reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness: Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorich.
And this is Nancy Noble.
We are coming to you live, broadcasting from YouTube in Florida. And the last thing I was talking about
Was your
for
concert?
anybody who might be interested is the Donna Drake Show.
Yeah, if you want to hear Mike play the piano, it's at the very end when he plays the piano, and it's very pretty. You'll like this piece.
And before that, I talked about my book, and Nancy talked about a book
that I illustrate.
and a few things that happened to me in my life. It was very, very well done.
Mhm.
And before I started doing this radio stuff, which was 2018, I didn't know how I'd handle the technology part, and I still don't. I don't do anything. I just when Nancy gets ready, I come here, I sit next near the mic and with my headphones, and I don't do anything. I don't know anything. And I was concerned that maybe that would hurt our show. And one thing I don't like is to be, for whatever reason, I don't like to be unreliable.
You're not.
So I hope I'm not.
Well, you were talking about the concert. I'll build it up again. Mike said before each piece, the name of the piece, and then he said at the end, let me know which of these 4 pieces that you like the best, and I'll include it in the next mini concert. So this one retired preacher who we love, he is a great personality. He and his wife were there, and he raised his hand, he stood up, and he said, well, I liked the first 4 pieces. And everybody burst into laughter because it was only 4 pieces. And Mike said, well, then what did you say? You won't have to learn too much?
I said that means I won't have to learn anymore before the next concert. And that's true, if I repeated it.
4 once.
We
But-
might have to get some different people because I don't know if the other 8 would want to go through the same concert
No,
again.
I thought it was
But anyway,
funny.
it was funny.
Everybody had
And
fun. And
I had a lot of fun.
somebody brought some homemade cookies. That was fun.
But
So
anyway,
Mike did a beautiful job.
Yes, I did do a good job, and I was happy with the job I did.
Yeah.
But where am I going with this? I'm going to a guy that I deeply respect, who is a special guy in my life. And if I hadn't gone to New York, I would have never known. And even though we did a great job with the show, the Donna Drake show,
Uh-huh.
my highlight was hearing, and this is why I wish we had a show last week.
I know. So
Tom
you would have been
Shizano.
here.
Tom
Yeah.
Shizano
And
played.
Tom Shizano is the one who told me how to plug this in and plug that in and put this over here. I knew nothing about this stuff.
No.
Very patient.
And whenever I would talk to him on the phone, because I don't know how anybody could have been impressed as much as I was with him.
You were, I know it.
And
I still hear about it.
I can't stop talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm sincere. I don't make this stuff up.
I know.
I see what I see. And I love this guy's music. And so whenever we would talk on the phone, he would ask me, have I found a music teacher?
Ah.
And, he's concerned about me.
Yeah.
He likes my music, and he thought that I should get somebody. I can't read the music.
I know.
That's the problem. But now I got the music, and I'll take it one step further.
Okay.
Shortly after the Donna Drake show, I had a dream. I had a dream that Tom came out to visit us.
Oh, cool.
And there was this piece that I played.
Uh-huh.
It was called Schubert Impromptu number 4.
Ooh.
The right hand of that, it's one of the 2 pieces I played in previous concerts where I got a standing ovation at the intermission.
Yeah.
So I dreamed that Tom came over and I played that Schubert Impromptu. And every time, there's a wrestling coach too, but this other thing, when I hear Schubert Impromptu number 4, I think that's a Tom Shizano piece. And I hope he gets to hear it someday, even if it's not from me. And this is why I was hoping this had happened last week, because he deserves to know this.
Okay.
And that's the deal with it. And I very much appreciate him, and he's a good friend. And his music, what can I say? It's amazing. And
I see why you tied it in with mine about being totally honest and trustworthy.
yes, I did, because I am being totally honest. And
Everybody in the movie and acting stuff are so full of a bunch of bunk that
and
it's not easy to tell who's being totally honest.
and I'm totally honest. And here's the other deal with this.
Hmm.
When I was talking about, remember I said earlier in the show about my topic matching what Nancy has to say?
Uh-huh.
Well, where my topic, all the topics I put on the table,
Uh-huh.
where it matches is the Nazi Democrats. Now, I will tell you this. You could take this to the bank. You will never hear a Nazi Democrat say anything that's true. Everything that comes out of their mouth is a lie. And that's where the expression came from. If I remember this expression when I was in high school, I wasn't sure what it meant, but I know what it means now. And the statement goes like this person has diarrhea of the mouth,
Yeah.
and everything that comes out of their mouth is SH.
Uh,
And I'll tell you something else about the Yankees. I love the Yankees. I'm rooting for the Yankees.
yep.
And there's this guy on the Yankees, and this is a true story. His name is Kem Schittler.
Yeah. I have to read his name so I know.
Okay. Now, in his dealings with Boston,
hmm
and I don't know how many times, I know he pitched last year in the playoffs, and Boston has never scored on this guy.
Whoa.
And I would say at least 3 or 4 starts that he had, and he didn't go the distance. And I don't know if he went the distance yesterday, but the Yankees won 1-0.
Oh, wow.
And they got a doubleheader today. But you're facing this guy, uh, 1 run, you give up 1 run, you're dead.
Right.
Unless he doesn't go the distance and you could score on their bullpen. Now, do you think that there'll ever come a day that the Red Sox ever score on him? I don't know the answer to that. Time will tell. But I'm going to tell you something else would happen with this guy, the Schittler guy. And I remember every day Nancy reads me the pictures. And you could call Hitler Schittler, all right? Because of his performance. Now, I remember one time Schittler was pitching for the Yankees. That's the only team he ever played for. And he's amazing. He might be their ace. You got Garrett Cole, you got uh, what's that other guy's name? It's not Duran. It's a left-hander. I can't think of his name. He's pitching today.
I don't know.
Roldan. That's it. Okay, he's pitching today. And I asked Nancy one day because I really was curious. And I asked Nancy with Schittler pitching, is there any similarity looks wise? Because I don't know anything about looks
Right.
with Cam Schittler and Joe Hitler.
No, none.
Nancy said, yeah, she answered my question exactly the same way she answered it on this show. There's nothing. Now, the true thing is, Hitler's in his 80s. All right. Now,
And, he did a lousy job, and this pitcher is doing a great job. Maybe not for Boston, but he's doing a great job for the
no,
Yankees.
if you're a Boston fan, you don't like this guy.
But
But
he's doing great.
he's doing what he should do. He's supposed
Yeah,
to.
so
He's supposed to
he
win
isn't
games.
doing anything wrong.
He's not doing anything wrong. It's just a name thing. All right.
I know.
And it's crazy, but
You're silly.
it's yeah, I did ask that and I wondered about that, but we don't know. Well, we do know. One thing we do know. You know, when Nancy talks about people who everything they say is a lie, was Joe Hitler ever president? His mind was going. I know he was in the Senate for years and years and years. Was he ever president? Or was it somebody else running the country, which was called the auto pen? Now, I will tell you this. There are a lot of people who know who the auto pen is, and they won't tell us. Because up to this point in time, with 66 days to go before the election, a Nazi cannot sin.
But I think things are coming down where
His,
there's going to be retribution, and people are going to get their comeuppance.
Nancy believes that somehow or other the Nazis are going to be held
Huh?
accountable. The Nazi Democrats. That's how I have to term it now, because that's what God told me to do. And if He tells me to do it, I'm going to do it. But anyway, we are going to our last break. This is a Nancy and Mike show. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of the Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on the Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Mike Zorich, a three-time California state champion in Greco-Roman wrestling at 114 pounds. Mike, blind since birth, was born in Hartford, Connecticut. He was a six-time national placer, including 2 seconds, 2/3, and 2/4. He also won the Veterans Folk-Style Wrestling twice at 152 pounds. In all these tournaments, he was the only blind competitor. Nancy Zorich, a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions in several states. Her father, a commercial artist who shared his instruments with his daughter and helped her fine-tune her natural abilities, influenced her decision to follow in his footsteps. Ms. Zorich has enjoyed a fruitful career doing what she loves. Listen Saturday mornings at 12 Eastern for the Nancy and Mike Show for heartwarming stories and interesting talk.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorich.
And this is Nancy Noble.
We are coming to you live, broadcasting from YouTube in Florida. This is a Nancy and Mike show. And wrapping up with this music thing,
Uh-huh.
I mentioned that I finished the Tchaikovsky piece, None But the Lonely Heart. And I started a piece that I wanted to learn since the year while I'm just starting it.
Yeah, just beginning.
It's called, and I know for some people who don't know music, this won't mean anything to you. But anyway, it's Chopin Polonaise in C minor. And it's the melody is in the left hand, and it's I love it. I love the piece. And I love Chopin. Chopin and Brahms are my two favorite classical composers. And so I started working on this, and this is going to be more difficult than Tchaikovsky, but and in one way it's more difficult, but in another way it's easier because I have something to listen to because it's written as a piano piece. I've got something to copy. I can listen to it on the computer if I'm uh, concerned about measure or how many beats and all this stuff. I couldn't figure out the timing she was giving me yesterday. And I listened to it once on the computer and I figured out the things I did yesterday. I figured out the consistent beat
Yeah.
that I wasn't figuring out during the lesson. And it really wore me out yesterday.
I know.
I was trying so hard to get this, and I want to finish it so I can have another mini concert. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But that's the deal here. And let me see what else. What else do we got here? Baseball.
Yeah.
There was nothing on last night for me to listen to. I was hoping the big inning would come on, but it didn't. And I'm not interested in the Dodgers in Detroit. The Dodgers have played a pretty tough schedule recently,
Right.
and they have Andy Pages. I can't say pothead because he's not. He may not be a
Pages. Come on.
Pages is
Yeah.
not pothead. I don't care
No,
what you
it
say.
sounds like Pages to me. Looks like it.
It's Pages. Okay. Well, he might be the best outfielder in the game today, and he might be the best hitting outfielder in the game today. That's one thing. He's out for 5 weeks. He got some kind of injury. Now let's take another issue. Will Smith,
Yeah.
the catcher. And I've said this many times on this show that Will Smith, and there's some good catchers. There's Yogi Berra, there's Johnny Bench, Bill Freehan, Ivan Rodriguez. They were all very good. But nobody could shine the shoes of Will Smith. He's the greatest of all time. And he's got some kind of injury. So if you wonder why the Dodgers are losing to some good teams, they lost 3 straight to Atlanta, and they lost 3 out of 4 to Milwaukee. But they're running out of good teams. I don't know if they play any more good teams. They're in second place now behind Milwaukee. Atlanta will never catch them because even if Atlanta wins all their games, that's 107 wins. The Dodgers will probably end up with 108 if they win all their games. And there's no reason why they can't. The schedule allows them.
Getting easier now, huh?
It's much easier now.
Okay.
And Detroit has packed it in. So, with the Dodgers playing Detroit, it's going to be a total mismatch.
Oh, too bad.
So, that was the game that was on yesterday. I was hoping for the big inning.
But you got a nice phone call from an old friend back in California.
Yes,
That was
I
good
did.
timing. I told May this is
I
perfect timing.
told- I hadn't talked to this guy in a couple of years.
No.
And this guy is a basketball expert. And
He used to come over to our house in California and sit and talk with Mike, and his wife and I would go in the bedroom and watch something else.
yeah, during the college basketball tournaments, the
Oh,
before the NCAA tournament, uh, we would watch all these conference championships,
yeah.
conference tournaments
I know you guys had fun.
before the NCAA tournament start, and I'll never forget that. Those were fun days. And this guy, we used to take his daughter to her track meets. He had to work, and
Yeah,
she
she's a
was
good athlete.
she was a good sprinter.
Yep.
And I remember one time we took her to the state finals of California. She got first in the 100-meter dash, and she got second in the high jump. So that's not a bad performance for state titles.
No.
And I had a lot of fun going to those track
Yeah,
meets.
it was fun.
And of course, when I was in high school, I competed in track meets myself, so I knew how they ran. And even the events I didn't go out for, I went out for the 2-mile run. That was the only thing I was any good at. And I'm not a good sprinter, and I never was. And here we
Hey.
are at the end of another show.
Yikes. That was fast, huh?
Number 56 just dropped into the bank.
Take care, guys.
This has been the Nancy and Mike Show. Tune in each week and become part of the conversation of the amazing journey of Nancy and Mike.